Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the ESL Pro League. Now, so far, you've been sitting in your comfy chair watching some professional CS, but if you'd like to start your professional career, you can. The Mountain Dew League is giving amateurs a direct path into the ESL Pro League. All you need to do to find out all the details is head over to esea.net/MDL. Now, for our next match, our final match of the night, we have an interesting one. It's going to be Virtus.pro going up against FaZe Clan, but both teams are handicapped in their own specific ways. Virtus.pro's Neo has a broken leg. We'll have to see how this affects him. Of course, you don't need your legs to play Counter-Strike, but this is a kind of injury that's probably pretty hard to ignore. On the other side, and perhaps the lighter side here, FaZe members Kiyoshima comes into this match on next to no sleep. Once a gamer, always a gamer. We'll see how this affects his performance, but I mean, this is kind of what he does for a living. We'll see. Our last map played was Cash, though, and for Rush, put together a little bit of a pro tip on that map. Let's see how it all looks.
Hi there, future pros. Back to Cash, but don't worry about it, this one is completely free. The smoke for you all today is an A-main Cash smoke. It's a fairly easy one, so let's get into it. Get into this corner. Aim at the E in the text above A-main, and just throw it. This smoke will leave a slight gap in the right corner. I suggest holding it with an AWP and look out for some terraced toes crossing by.
Yes, welcome back to Pro League. One more matchup for the evening. It's going to be Virtus.pro taking on FaZe. And the scary thing here is we're not going to do it this time. We're not going to say if Virtus.pro shows up, but I mean, that is the situation where now they're sliding away from playoff hopes. I've got Hank introduced onto the desk here with me.
How are you doing, all right?
Good. Doing really good, yeah.
Good game.
Nice cast.
The Greer.
That doesn't quite work,
yeah.
But keep working on it.
All right, we'll get you something eventually.
Yeah, we'll polish that one up.
Yeah.
Look, let's be honest. Virtus.pro just played FaZe and ECS on 2 maps and lost both of them. 16-4 on Train, and I believe it was 16-10 on Inferno, and we're about to see Inferno again. So they're going to have a really rough time going into this, and they have, 3 matches left, including this one, going into the end of the season, and it's going to be a very rough ride for them. If they want to stay out of relegation, they need to make sure that they're winning these games, or at the very least, you know, winning maybe one series?
Similar scenes to the last seasons as well, right?
Yeah.
I mean, is this really the narrative we're going to have for Virtus.pro? Avoid relegation.
Well, that's what they had. They did get relegated last season. It came under the fan vote last time to keep them in it, right? So this is very similar scenes. Pro League just doesn't seem to click for them at all, really.
So this is the saddest thing, right? Virtus.pro are one of my favorite teams to watch because they have very explosive players. They play a very dynamic brand of the game, and they're a team. Like, they play as a team. They don't rely on individuals to carry them, right? Everybody can chime in and do the stuff they need to do. It's just sad that it's gotten to this point where, you know, they could still make the finals, you know, if they start getting these wins now, but they need to turn it around. They need to go from 2 losses, coming off the back of 2 losses that just happened, and turn it around into 2 Ws.
Well, they're losing to teams like Heroic and LDLC. Now they're up against, at the moment, one of the world's best FaZe. Is this really the matchup that's going to find them results? Considering the current form, I'm not so sure. They've had a shocker in ECS as well. It's been falling apart over there. It's not just this league. I'm not sure this is the time for it all to come together. They pointed out that Neo's got some injuries going on. It's a foot injury, I believe, as well. I'm not really sure that's a big effect. Like, it's not really to bring too much to the table. Actually, might make him better. He might play more CS.
Some players like to tap their feet while they play.
Is that true?
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah, so that's something to consider.
It's really annoying, though, when you sit on the desk with someone that does that. Because
it shakes the desk.
Yeah, that's not a great feeling. But if we're actually gonna look at the upcoming matches for VP, and you're gonna see how much of a difficult time they're gonna have. And what we can also do is I have their current score up. They're 8 wins and 12 losses.
Okay, so this is the upcoming schedule. You can see Virtus.pro down there at the bottom. They're in 12th place. They've already lost to Heroic. FaZe tonight. Then they have G2, which we see as no easy feat, and then North, which again is not exactly an easy walkover type opponent.
They're all 3 hard matches, right? Those are very difficult, and the way that the maps match up for VP, it's not like they're going to get, the way that the veto system works, they're not going to get something that they're super confident on. It's going to be a middle ground map for all teams. So if they lose all of these, they're going to be on, what, 8 wins and 18 losses if they are unable to put any W's on the board. So they're definitely going to be in the bottom 3 if that's the case.
It's looking like they're going to have to fight for their Pro League life next season, which is a little bit scary. But you know, we talked a lot about Virtus.pro. We've touched on this in the past. Not too impressed with their product recently that they put into the servers. Let's move on to FaZe. Is this a team that you can fairly say? I mean, they're a bit updated in the HLTV ranking, 2nd place in the world. Is that a pretty fair place for them? I mean, I know results speak it, but eye test wise,
still early days, right? Obviously, they've been playing a big event events, which affects the HLTV rankings tremendously. They've been going to all of them and getting to finals as well and winning an event. So that's obviously going to help out. I think it's justified, though, from what I've seen so far. I'm very happy with the overall package they have in FaZe. The addition of Nico is obviously amazing. Carrigan coming into the fray as well, kind of brought it all together. It's looking very good. Alu's finding some great form as well, so especially on Inferno, which they'll be playing as well. I think they're a tremendous team, and I think they could be gunning for that #1 position. And you have to remember, this team's only been together since, what, Katowice? That was their first showing of 3 days practice. And they're getting better and better, and actually taking that grand final performance, Katowice, converting it into a victory going forward in Starladder as well. I'm actually been tremendously impressed overall.
Me too.
Nice. I mean, anything to the fact, we have a little bit of time to fill as players on this. Is anything to the fact, I know some people have expressed, and I actually am of this thought as well, that they looked better in Katowice than they did in a victory at Starladder.
Well, the thing is, in Katowice, you have to take it with a little bit of a pinch of salt, right? You're bringing in Nico, and you have no real structure, right? You haven't really got him into the team properly. You've had 3 days practice. 3 days good practice from what I've heard, sure. But at the same time, it's going to be a lot looser Counter-Strike, and it's not going to be as regimented as it was going into Starladder. They're trying to make themselves a better overall package. There's not that much consistency of a loose play style. It might look great if everyone's performing and turning up to the server, but yeah, they might have been playing better CS in terms of aiming, in terms of individual skill. But I think going forward, that's the right mentality, to have more structure and have things to fall back on when players like Nico don't arrive on the server, for example. For
me, I think their real test is going to be at IEM Sydney, right? That's the next event these guys have offline. And we have SK there, and we also have Astralis. And you could argue that those are the top 3 teams in the world right now, considering VP has dropped off a little bit. But those guys are the big dogs right now. And if they're able to make another final in that kind of a field, obviously the lower end of that field isn't as difficult, but still to go up against the top tier, and I believe we have a best-of-5 final again. If they're able to play, let's say they play Astralis again in a best-of-5 and they're able to win that one, sure, definitely cement them in that number 2 spot, and they're looking fantastically strong. I just don't know if they've had enough time to work on their map pool yet, right? As Henry's saying, the learning curve is very steep. You throw a lot of talent in and they all hit their shots, they're going to do fantastically well. But when they get pressured, maybe if you guys are having off days, that's where it falls back to the work that Carrigan's done, making sure the theory's done and all that kind of stuff. So these kind of matches for them, it's really good. This online stuff for new teams that come together, G2 is another example. They get lots of competitive environments that aren't like super stressful, where it's not make or break to actually work out the kinks. And they probably, you know, it seems to be working for them.
Just to follow up on that point as well, like you can have all the practice you want in, like, we call it PCWs, right, online, but the objective in those games is never to really win. You're kind of focusing on the strategies and kind of getting the overall package. When we were playing, we didn't actually focus on winning those games. We're trying to fix errors in our game, and it's not real environment, really. These kind of online plays, when you're playing like 2 great best-of-1s each week and you're trying to win them, it's great experience overall. You can have huge comebacks and work out what works for your team, what doesn't, how economic situations, how you be kind of positioning yourself in those sort of tight buys and stuff like that. It's looking much better in these sort of environments than just playing online. So this is great for a team like FaZe.
Yeah, hopefully it works wonders for them, because as Chad said, they do have IEM Sydney coming up just next week. Either way, they're taking on Virtus.pro right now, and we're going to send it over to Uber and Pansy to take it away.
Yes, thank you very much, Moses, and what an interesting match this is going to be. Virtus.pro, we're talking about them potentially having to fight for their relegation. They could just straight up get auto-relegated by being in the bottom spot. That's in the realm of possibility here. That's just how, I guess, huge the swing has been for them over the last half of the season.
It's been pretty ridiculous, right? It's always been that kind of thing about, you know, Virtus.pro online, VP's consistency. But there was always that kind of follow-up of, but they should be able to beat X amount of teams. Oh, they should be able to do this. And it just feels like this season, all those normalities that you'd see of them being able to pick up against, you know, wins against the very lower tier teams and just kind of grinding through, they've not been able to do that. And the bigger problem now being as well, there isn't anyone feeding right now in the Pro League. And I say that quite loosely because even the very lower tier teams are able to put up fights. We saw it only, what, last week? Virtus.pro were one of the kind of victims of some of that. We saw teams that we didn't expect to pick up results
Heroic were in the
actually
bottom 5 or 6, I think, before that match, and they absolutely trounced them.
Yeah, and you know, it's a problem for VP right now. If you're not playing that well at the moment, you're gonna slip down. And the thing is, they have some very tough opponents left for the rest of the season. You look at the others, and they're doable. They're certainly manageable. This just doesn't look good. Now, you know, we've already seen this matchup in a previous league just moments ago. This map, these 2 teams head to head. So they already got the warm up in. This is game time. This is official time, and we will be getting this one started up soon. I'm not sure if we're live. I think we are. Taz just taking his time in spawn. Yeah, we're underway. It'll be VP on the CT side and FaZe, of course, on the T side. It's been done before tonight, but we get to do it all over again here.
That's it. We get a lot of VP lately, and I'm kind of glad for it because it's definitely been quite an interesting swing back and forth for these guys. However, Bialy's already made his way up and towards that second mid here, so he's a little bit pinched out, and Kio's going to be able to just do a quick 180 and find him. That's going to open the way and the door for FaZe to pressure in towards his A side, and Pasha has to try and hold that. Only one man, he manages to take down Nico. That could be the least of his problems, though, now. The rest of FaZe are going to barrel in towards him, but time is being bought, and FaZe having to be a little bit cagey about this. Yeah,
but they have every piece of control. The map is theirs. FaZe look like they're playing... So, if you're FaZe, you don't play this like you want to play a normal game yet, right? You can still play that very aggressive, very fast, loose style. You know, the way you used to see your Fanatics, you know, that age-old phrase of you've got to make them respect you before you can actually play much of a game against them, right? You can't play whatever you theory crafted, so they're just kind of running around the map. And we're seeing it with FaZe in that round, at least in that pistol. They got the reins of it and they ran with it. Considering they've already played this once tonight before, during ECS, they've already probably got that in the back of their minds of what they can get away with. So if you're VP, you're already feeling a little bit down about it, right? And Rain hitting a couple of bangers. There goes the scout. That already goes out of Pasha's hands. He was playing from over towards Boiler side. Now Bialy and Neo are left with the big challenge of trying to lock down mid in any way, shape, or form. And Rain's going to claim another. Now, this is good for my fantasy team, is all I'm saying. All
right, Lauren, thanks for that. I had VP players in my team all season, and I realised a little bit too late. That's fine. You know, I suffer for my fandom. That's the way it goes. Karrigan, they're going to get aggressive up mid, and he does find Bialy, who was just sitting off towards the side, and that is the A presence for VP utterly neutralised. Nico and Alu weren't really required to do anything crazy over at B, just hold position while the rest of FaZe dealt with that A players. So now, Snacks will rotate through. Taz is not too far behind him here.
They should be able to call the rotate too. I'm pretty sure. Actually, no, Taz went kind of deep around CT, so maybe they didn't hear him stepping that far. But they know where they are. It could have sped up the process more than anything to try and get rid of these two players. But they're going to clear this out quite methodically.
Meticulous.
Exactly. Take the time on it. Make sure to get these guns away, just because they can. They know they can, and they're going to pinch them in. So, Alu and Nico, I'm wondering how far they're going to go, because already Rain and Karrigan are backed away, so they know the T-Apps is clear. They know the T-Stairs is clear, and it leaves CT spawn. So now Taz is going to try and set up a little bit of a pinch here with Snacks, try and get maybe a gun away or two. And there goes Nico, but Alu is still there. But Snacks will find it. So that could be something recovered. No
weapon.
Nothing to hand.
Yeah, I mean, running out of time there towards the end of the round. Not much to be done there. Still, decent little moment here. This was Rain doing that pistol round, if I'm not mistaken.
Did he even get hit then?
I think if he did, it was barely. Yeah, slightly tagged up, but pretty comfortable stuff for FaZe over the last few rounds, and Rain has had a good start to this match, 5-1.
He's not even buying into this round. He's chilling. He's got a USPS. He's ready to pick up those rifles if they get dropped. He's just going to have a great time of it. Why not? He knows that VP have almost no money, because VP went pretty heavy into the second round, and they only got Snacks to stay alive, so they don't have anything to play with here. They've gone for the B stack. They've got for 2 players boosted up, have they? Yeah, 2 players boosted up. That's quite unique. That's a little different. We saw...
I haven't seen that before, yeah.
Throwing my mind back to Team Secret doing that ridiculous, was it 4-woman boost, I guess? I could see all the way down Banana, but 2 will do. That's fine. I don't think it's going to make much odds here. You can already see that Rain and Karrigan are both eyeing up, trying to get a little bit of play going towards middle, just taking over control, leaving Alu all alone down by Banana. He's going to keep that in check. And it's just Neo sat on the site. He does have a P250, so maybe be able to get one down if he's holding the angle. Yeah, there's that. That's actually just Rain gone, who only had the USPS, but Neo's going to do something a little spicy there. Karrigan going to feel the brunt of that, but by now the bomb should be going down pretty swiftly, and Alu's still got the back. 2 players, though, are about to come his way.
He could be overwhelmed here. He needs to be a little bit careful. Bialy, the next around the corner, and no, the second is dealt with pretty comfortably for Alu, just left in that position as a pivot and to receive any of the rotations. So the only player for VP to really highlight this round was Neo, broken leg and all. Opens up quite nicely. And Alu now just cleaning up a little bit through mid. It'll be Taz. Probably thinks better of engaging here. I mean, he's got nothing to lose, essentially. He hasn't really brought anything into this round. But again, it's a 1v3. They've all got weapons. Back away.
Maybe there's a gun dropped somewhere he can find.
I was hoping something down mid. Maybe even a pistol that he can recycle from one of his fallen teammates. I think it was a P250 there, but Nico sees straight through it. And through the hole in Taz's head.
Yep, there we go. All right, first 3 done. That's fine. That's what it is. And to be fair to FaZe, the 2 rifles that they actually invested in still maintained. Keo and Nico had both of those. So reinvesting into 1 towards Rain, 2 towards Alu, and then Karrigan back on the UMP. That could have been actually dropped out as well, or kind of kept over. So that's not too much of a bother, but very light utility on VP. So they can't withstand much. They can't do a lot of play down towards second, from Bananas. So they're going to play up second mid here right now, FaZe. Maybe get some apps control going. I just want to see how they play this one out. So far, it looks quite fast and loose, quite aggressive, like they're looking for these fights. They're wondering, oh, this is nice. That's the flash right through. That's Fnatic-esque if you're ever going to see it. They used to love these very quick up mid plays. They're doing it so well. Rain found the first then, but it's Karrigan and Nico to follow up the pressure, and the A-side is theirs. You know, VP could do nothing then but just sit and watch. FaZe are playing a completely different level game here.
That's funny, and given we've already seen this map before, Virtus.pro still don't really seem to be able to read what's coming at them from FaZe Clan, and Ali receives snacks, and these weapons brought up into this round amount to very little for Virtus.pro. That was the buy, and the weapons all fall by the wayside as FaZe put another comfortable one in there, and you can see Rain 6-2, Alu 5-2. Very comfortable opening here, and VP just completely dashed aside. That first opener, I think it was from Rain off the back of the flash in up and top mid, and VP just couldn't handle it.
Yeah, really nice. I actually like that piece from FaZe. I think it's quite fun to watch. It's pretty aggressive. There's the nuke down mid. It's going to find one victim. Rain there. Going to be on the receiving end. Karrigan took a little bit of a lick of damage too, down to 50. So not bad all in all, considering it's a very light investment this round. They do have the P250s as well. So any damage done is good. It kind of, I guess, alleviates some of the pressure. Another nade comes out. Not so effective this time, and the follow-up didn't quite get around the corner enough to hit Nico. So smoke goes in. Just a bit of a CT1 flash to follow. Actually, that could go towards, excuse me, that's towards Coffins. So now, looks like FaZe are turning around and looking for other options.
No rotations forced from that work from Nico over on the B side here, but this may allow for a bit of a wrap attempt here. They know that Neo's moved back in towards Library here. Smoke going down, it's actually just behind Alu here, but even with that, Snacks actually picks him up. Nothing but that P250 here. VP have a little to work with, but they managed to make it happen so far.
Yeah, and Karrigan's very much alone with the bomb. And now rifles trickle over into VP's hands. VP had nothing this round. They had the nades and a couple of upgraded pistols, but no armor to supplement it, so you can see a bit of an issue. Even with the recovered guns, there's still a problem afoot. They can't withstand longer fights. Now, Nico's looking for these guys. Kyo's making some noise, making this situation almost possible for Nico to excel in, and now you're going to see the crunch coming in. Bialy's position duly noted. Nico's going to hunt it down, but will he expect on towards the default on site? No, he doesn't. Bialy gonna claim that one, and okay, VP get around on the board. That's not bad all in all, considering what they started with, but it feels like FaZe just kind of, not necessarily took it for granted, but didn't exactly come in with the, you know, full plan in mind. But now we're gonna see a decent buy from both sides. AWP out for Pasha, and an AWP currently sat, I think it was on Kyo for a second, it might just be dropped across towards Alu. Now there it is. So we get the AWPs to be seen. Pasha with a little bit of a spawn, I think. He could maybe do something with that. Wonder if he's feeling up to it.
A lot of value for VP in that previous round, considering what they brought into it, Lauren, but it works out. That's the main thing. Incendiary popped straight down mid, so Pasha receives no aggression head on, at least for now. But it's a 3-man on B for VP, just going for the early peak, early control. It's a deep smoke in Banana, off screen. We'll give VP a little bit more peace of mind about the potential for this A hit, and Neo's going to rotate off the back of that info.
It's interesting, Neo being the first rotate. Before, he was pretty much dedicated here. I think it was him and Snacks for quite some time, but now they're going to leave Taz, actually, all his lonesome. Snacks is even going to back away, so they're believing in this A hit, and they might be right to be feeling as such.
You got there.
Tough. Neo going to be boosting up, I can imagine. Pasha here above the smoke. Quite dangerous when Nico's so close by. If he hears this, it might be all over. And well, the pedestal's fallen, but Pasha still finds one. Through the smoke they go, but Snacks in support in the wings. But that was merely one kill found, and Pasha is still alive.
A huge effort from Rain if he can pull it off, but Pasha quickly comes in. A very fast shot, and Bialy there just keeps it on lock, like he always does for VP, but a lot of action there pushing in towards that CTR. Just Pasha able to hold his own against 3 players. Even though he lost the player that was boosting him up, he managed to make a big impact in that round. And we do see that from him now. You know, Pasha playing that AWP. We've seen it passed around VP more than any other team. So far, it seems to be working out. VP get their second here. FaZe can still buy to a degree, though. It's going to be a Desert Eagle on a Tech 9 and good splash of utility in the mix.
He's feeling aggressive, and that's not a good idea. Pasha needs to back away. You're seeing how FaZe kind of define their early control. Okay, you can't really do it down Banana as well, or you have to fight quite heavily for it, but you can see how they want to do it through apps. Now, Pasha adjusted, what a shot from Kyo.
2 hours of sleep, doesn't matter. Kyo, right on the money. Yeah, it's interesting, a lot of teams don't really push into this part of apartments on CT, and yet still FaZe are making sure it's mollied out. Maybe even anticipating some aggression from a bolstered VP after 2 rounds.
And it will force Bialy to back over, and Snacks. So in theory, all of this has really worked out quite handily. Now, Snacks hasn't fully left. He's still here, and he still has utility, so he's still got the smoke there to buy a bit of time. That can work out well. Now they've reset the playing field here, FaZe. They've got 2 on each side, showing a bit of attention to both. Karrigan, going to molly out quad. He's got the AWP now as well. So they recovered that one off of Pasha and dropped it out towards him. But I'm wondering where they take this. They're going to fall back towards B with the bomb. They still have the 2 players there. They could do a wrap through CT, I guess, but timing is going to be a factor pretty darn soon. Now, Karrigan scoping in and out here. I'm not sure if Bialy can hear it. I'm not 100% sure.
Snax is making an early rotate. This could be quite dangerous here. He actually has the smoke for a re-smoke on top banana. I don't know if he puts it down. He does. He just throws it down. But here at A, this is where the action's happening as well. VP don't know where FaZe are coming from, and Keo and Karrigan combine nicely. Nico's in the mix through the smoke, but Taz will find him there, and it's enough for FaZe to say, no, we're going to leave that B side alone. But Snax actually catches Keo as he tries to wrap through.
But do they still think it's a B here?
Yes.
They still think it's a wrap through CT Arch. They did not expect them to go all the way back down banana. Now they're going to realize it. They're like, oh, really? We have to play retake on this? But look at what they're left with, FaZe. 2 AWPs and a Deagle. It's a weird combo, but VP have nothing to play back in with. They don't have any flashes, smokes. So I think it's save time for them. It's so hard to play retakes, especially when you have no jump. You don't have any information. You have no form of play back in to define any sort of angles, especially when you know there's AWP still up. So this is a very hard fought for round, and FaZe dragged him left, right, and center there.
I find it really interesting, though, that Snax meets a player in CT who's obviously wrapped through A, when there's no VP players left at A, and has assumed, oh, I need to go back to B. I need to sort of bolster this out there. So interesting that he didn't go sort of straight to A, and whether it would have made a difference ultimately or not remains to be seen. He may have just been looking just to team up with Taz and realise that the save was imminent. Regardless, another round comes up for FaZe, and VP clutch onto these weapons. Rain's looking to remove it. He won't find his quarry, and that will be VP now with a couple guns still to bring into this round.
All right, double AWP T side. Let's see how they run this one. It's not, obviously they recovered the AWP off of Pasha, so it's not like they invested it in themselves.
Save a bit of money.
It's tough to use. It really is quite tough to find a place
You've
for
got
2 of them. But
Karrigan, Nico, and Alio on this team. Someone is going to be able to put that to use somehow.
But it was in Nico's hands for a while, but it seems to have been tipped over towards Karrigan, so maybe he's feeling it. Maybe he's got something to play, an idea of how he wants to play it out on this. I'm wondering how they utilize 2 AWPs, though, if there is actually a plan in mind as to how they want to put them into place, but we'll see.
Always kind of force you into a little bit more of a ponderous early round when you're playing with those double AWPs. Generally, the idea is you try and play for picks, but this is not a map that's hard to do on. Even some of the great AWPers, of the past or of the current era sort of got rid of the AWP on this map. Guardian even, opted to go for the AK back on previous iterations of Inferno. So it's not easy to make it work. Definitely a lot more challenges on a map like this.
Yeah, and VP are dug in pretty deep here. You can see on the side, you've got Bialy and Neo there. Pasha playing right at the back of CT Arch by Library. He's going to be sitting super passive. So, if you are an AWPer, you have to commit to these angles. You've got to really work to find any of these picks. So they're leaving Alu on his own to work up banana. He's got some, relatively decent control, and now FaZe are doing the same. They're trying to take over the real estate towards A, find some play, find anything, a pixel out of place, but VP are moving.
Pasha, if he plays up CT Arch corner with this Mag 7, we've seen this before. We've seen him, I think, pick up 3 from this position in one of the matches earlier on that went to multiple overtimes. I think it was Envious here, but Pasha being pressured up close, needs to get this Mag 7 on target, and he finds Karrigan. He at least gets him. That's now going to relieve a little bit of the pressure, but the rest of VP on A are fallen. Pasha now is the only one left, and Ali meets him as he tries to get a better position on A, and this may well just promote another save round for VP.
Very likely, unless they get a kill in the next 2 seconds or something big happens. Yeah, it's time to basically go for a couple of exits, maybe hold it down, but you kind of felt maybe something would have happened there with Karrigan and the Pasha little battle going on, but once they got Pasha out of the way, it was floodgates open. A's theirs. Great play through short as well, coming in on some really nice timing, even though it was a really nice little flag. I like that. They're hiding the AWP there, so neither Taz nor Snax can pick it up to take it into the next round. I like it, and now they've kind of gotten rid of one of the AWPs. That's fine.
Double peek him here.
And yeah, they can just play into this. And to be fair, FaZe's money is okay as well. And now Taz being found. Snax might try and find that AWP if he's thinking about it maybe after the time. And he's thinking about it, he can't get it, obviously. It's hidden away, nicely tucked away. So, all in all, VP's money now in the trash can, pretty much. 2K sitting on Neo, Taz, Bialy, not good at all. You're kind of looking almost in double eco territory, hence why the drop's coming out from Snax. He's been dropping over just a couple of pistols. Now, they did win one of these rounds before, so let's see if FaZe have their head screwed on correctly this time.
3 to A to start with here for VP. So probably no early aggression here from them. No playing up close with these pistols, not even around that little corner that Karrigan's just looking at here. A lot of Molotovs being thrown down, though. This is just in case that was going to happen, in case it was going to be close plays with the P250s. Karrigan, though, taking a hell of a lot of damage from those Molotovs here, and Snax gets a double spray down. That's the only rifle on the side of VP, and it's yielded 2 kills over at the B side of the map. Now, Snax is already rotating over to A, already heading to try and help Bialy out, but Rain's not done with B yet. There's a 3v3 now, with all things being even up as Ali and Kiyoshima make their contributions to the round. And Bialy's pushing deep for this one. He may well be able to catch Kiyoshima off guard, and he's not ready for it. P250 does its work.
Yeah, these anti-egos seem to be a bit of a problem for FaZe at the moment. This could be a couple more rounds, maybe towards VP. Lovely shot from Taz.
Oh,
wow.
my lord.
What a shot. The follow-up, all right, that's impressive, Taz. I'll give you that. You've had a rough game so far, but at least he delivers when he's given the test. But now, 2 out of the 3 rounds the VP have won have been on pistols.
Yeah.
And I'd love to say that's just VP being, you know, nutty on pistols or having some great theory-crafted piece in mind. You've got to feel maybe FaZe's approach just isn't as, you know, robust, or maybe they play a little differently, or they play it just not quite up to the standard they need to. So you've got to feel that maybe that's the hindrance rather than his VP excelling.
Karrigan played into that engagement at the top of Banana with 50 HP before the fight started. He took a lot of damage from whether it was Molotovs or thrown grenades or whatever it was. A little bit messy from him. Obviously, FaZe were hoping to beat Virtus.pro to the punch and prevent them from actually digging themselves into good positions to play from pistols with. What? Keo shoots Rain in the back, if I'm not mistaken. I don't believe it was a grenade thrown.
He's like, yeah, Rain, you go first. This is your fault now. This is an explosive play through from Boiler, but no one's there, so they're going to have to play up short now. You can see the smokes are there. They're kind of being halted. This is nice for VP.
Smoke there's really
They're
strong.
buying a lot of time. Now, Snacks will be able to rotate around the back, catch Karrigan in the heels. That slowed this whole piece down. So you've got Neo, Pasha, and Bialy, all 3 players on this site right here.
This turtle is nuts.
Yeah, this is so tough for FaZe. They're desperate for someone to play into this, and Bialy's going, looking, this may be an issue, but they're surely going to back off from this.
Smoke on balcony means Alu, who's at great risk if he springs forth from it. He's definitely not going to get the first peek. Nico, though, sprays down Bialy. He comes out and challenges for whatever reason. And FaZe have a couple of flashes to work this site with. If they figure out the VP's sort of set up here, they can blitz them, but they're running out of players. Nico falls.
Yeah, Snacks is going around the back right now, so timing is of the essence. Alu is going to find Pasha, but still, slowly but surely, creeping around the back lines is Snacks, and you can see Keo's broken through as well. Now he's going to find Alu, but 26 seconds left, and Keo's on 21 HP. Just about gets the bomb to the site. Now
I think that's what he's hoping for here.
As well. Snacks on the edge of the smoke. Taz as well, deep round towards CT Arch, wrapping around 2. So Keo gonna have to just pick one angle and risk a bit of something on this one. Now they have no utility to play back in with, no flashes, no nothing. They got to go in on this one as they are, and a bit of a tag comes through. Taz doesn't have armor either, but here we go. Sprays down one. I almost believe the second could follow, but Taz will get the job done. Maybe gonna have to look for the AWP later, but Taz doesn't have armor, and that confuses me.
No, definitely would have been fairly vulnerable as well to any sort of spray down, but managed to win out that fight regardless. Didn't buy in that last round, I guess, for whatever reason. Still, though, better performance from him in this particular game. And VP recover well. They play 3 players. They're pretty much sat on top of each other at the site, but really Snacks was very, very big. His early rotation towards that A site to catch the FaZe player before he could wrap properly really made it hard for FaZe. They had to push through from one direction, essentially, and they were smoking their way. Nade down mid for Pasha, as per the usual. 3 Tech 9s here for FaZe in this round. And already Reigns wanted to try and head into apartments, but an early Molotov there just slows him up.
What goes around comes around, I guess. They used to just kind of lather the floor in mollies, so being reminded, he also has to suffer for this. There's the smoke towards CT Arch. It's a nice little line up there. And basically at this point, FaZe, you're hoping for those closer quarter battles, but we know the VP are playing very deep on these sites. They're not willing to make challenges. Look at Snacks' angle right now. He's literally sat as far back in CT Arch as possible. Kind of just waiting to see if maybe Taz needs help, but Neo going to fall to site, Bialy deep towards pit, and Pasha in library. FaZe finding it hard to find fights here. But we saw what could happen before. We saw it in the video Chad actually showed on the first matchup that obviously wasn't on Inferno, but still you can make these fights come to you here. So Keo could be setting up a couple of flashes. And here we go, game time. Pasha now can't be too secure from CT Arch. He's going to pull himself in towards the side, and this is a pinch towards B. Snacks is going to play into this if they're not careful, and there it is. Keo just bulldozes through him, and now it's Taz all alone at B. Support's en route. It's Neo, Bialy, and Pasha. Karrigan's lurking them,
Keo.
but still, Taz is going to spot one, but they're going to play this one out smart. Neo's been found, and now, Taz, what is going on? Falls off, allows the kill to happen, and now FaZe at the upper hand and the bomb site.
Yeah, I mean, FaZe almost messed themselves up there. Keo went back to check for the rotators and immediately went down to the gunfight, and you can see how quickly VP are responding to this. They've already got themselves very close up towards construction. But Karrigan's in a position to unravel a lot of this. You see Bialy and Neo now both have to challenge him, but it's one at a time. Or just the one in that case. This may all be traded out, but VP are already in deep trouble. It's going to be the Tech 9 to come through. 2 for Karrigan. That'll be enough. That's the Badger, as they say. And just the AWP for Pasha to hold in this round, that's going to be it. But FaZe, unlikely they're going to allow him to hold on to this. Time is short, but they have a little bit of information about where Pasha is positioned. Rain will look to try and challenge this one out. Oh, Pasha misses the shot, couldn't keep himself alive, and regardless, there were players coming up from behind him anyway. No AWP kept for Virtus.pro, and money is looking less than ideal.
Yeah, that's been shattered now. If I'm not mistaken, I think Mao's won their game 2-0. So they're actually in a really good spot to qualify for this tournament coming up. They're
still
definitely
winning
in
out.
Contention, yeah.
And that was a dangerous game. Hellraiser looking very, very good as of late.
Yeah, it's been a bit scary coming up against them. It feels like they are going from strength to strength. So at the moment, Virtus.pro surrounded by rather dangerous teams. Of course, Mousesports weren't exactly a big threat for them, but it does mean that I guess the opponents are now kind of within the same range of them.
Yeah, they feel better knowing the Hellraisers lose 2 and they're still sitting towards the bottom of the ladder here. Keo, big opening there, very early, nice work there with the Mac 10 just peeking around the corner. Wants a bit more money, but Carrigan's going to take that from him. They're going to have to share it. Molotov in the corner. Pasha's just completely backed off of this, and this leaves A open. So VP have the option to go for a very late retake, but Nico holding this position, this could be really nasty. Lauren, oh, it's not good, but Taz plays the other angle around the car and finds Nico at least. Gets himself a gun.
Oh, he's got an AK. I guess that's something. You can see FaZe won that back. They're not having any of this. Keo's off. Oh, that snap! Almost got him down. Taz looking a little worse for wear now, but still alive. Pasha trying to be the bodyguard off with the CZ, but FaZe are closing in. They're so ready and willing to just pour this one away, and there it is. There goes the rifle, and now it's just Pasha with the CZ. Players left, right, and center doesn't matter when Rain's going to find you. So, FaZe further lead on the T side. It's looking pretty good right now. 8-4, very, very solid. If they close out any more, considering their money is up pretty high, they could do. This is going to be a very good half for them. Yeah, so there's some really good T side play from FaZe Clan in general. I mean, some questionable decisions. We've seen those. 2 of those anti-eco rounds they lost out on, but outside of that, they've been rather, well, solid and drilled. Now, Pasha, again, brings the Mag 7 into this round, so something to keep an eye on. Snacks orbing this time as well. He'll do that from the top of Banana. No one from FaZe will be facing this early in the round. You see Alu's actually sitting back down mid, so Snacks not going to see a lot. Peak comes in. There's a flash for Alu just to facilitate that, forcing Snacks back. Very close hold for Bialy here. Yeah. I wonder if Keo's going to check this. No one's been playing up this close before, so a new angle and a new threat, and it works out. Bialy gets the upgrade and can back away towards Pit now. I guess it falls towards Rain now to try and pick up the challenge. He's got Alu and Carrigan with him, so he's certainly not alone in this. And he knows the VP have very rarely been playing close, so I guess an angle like that from Bialy was a real surprise. Now Rain does get a little bit of control here. Neo could step into this. He's playing the very close angle by the bike on the left side. Pasha comes into his own towards CTH, but outstays his welcome, re-peeks into it, and that's an angle that's already being held. But now Nico's broken through by B, but the bomb's in the wrong place, and he is very much alone. He's got the AWP and maybe a dream. Yeah. Oh, he's going to hide it out. Nicely
VP
done.
have found the bomb as well. So they know the deal. Despite Nico's best efforts in this round, he did manage to get himself the 1 kill. It's all for naught here. FaZe will have to settle for 8 for the moment. Still a couple rounds at half. 2 more after this one, of course. Nico fancies going for something here. I mean, reasonable. FaZe have the money to make something happen. And there's 20 seconds left in the round, so if he can get the bomb and sneak out, oh, this would be juicy. But no, he's caught up on some roses. The thorns perhaps keeping him in place, and Bialy catches him just before he can get around the corner. That could have been the great escape.
Or just really badly clipped maps by CSGO developers.
You think? I don't know. Personally, I've never had experience that on that corner. You do, obviously, like getting hit, like just wrecks your movement anyway, right? So it's like you're caught in a molly, but then you take some damage, like from someone shooting through smoke or something. You're like, well, I'm going to get 100-0'd.
I'm sorry, Mitch. Got to cut you off here. We've got mid-aggression and the Kraken being unleashed.
I'm
it's
glad.
Everything I've dreamed of, Mitch. This is it, and that was awful. But you all missed it, you know, because the observers wanted to see the kills and not the fun. All right, fun police.
They can't be synonymous.
Not with Rush observing. Pat would be all over it. Oh, Rain, that's what I'm after. No more to follow, though. And Carrigan living up to that FaZe clan tag by just jumping around trying to get those shots to go. Just wants to get that.
Missing his jetpack.
Oh, don't do it. Don't discuss jetpacks to me. You know, they're doing the whole World War II thing. You know, Call of Duty's coming back to its roots.
They're still going to find a way to throw a ball across the map, though. Could dunk it in a hoop. Could be like old school hoops.
Esports, Mitch. Esports.
It's a great thing, Lawrence, while we're here. Through the graces of Gaben and co. One more round and a half, Lauren. Let's see. This is better for Virtus.pro. I think they achieved 7 rounds in total last time earlier tonight. They played against FaZe on this particular map. So improvement, perhaps. Whether or not it'll be enough is the real question here, but it's a good opening for Pasha. He finds Kiyoshimi. This is FaZe just spending the rest of their money to invest in a couple of pistols here. Snacks me to Grizzly end, but it's all fine. Taz gets himself 3 in that case to end it off rather close into the half, Lauren.
Yeah, VP definitely brought it back. They looked slightly more alive. A couple of weird rounds, though, from FaZe. You think if they were able to keep hold of the rounds where they actually had weapons against VP with just mere pistols, that could be a different story, who knows. Open up a window of opportunity, and VP certainly took it.
Half-time, 1 round in it. We'll be back as FaZe Clan move to the CT side, and VP try to show if they've got any teeth left after all these years. Well, Lauren, online CS has given us many great memories over the years, but tonight it gives us Virtus.pro and FaZe Clan playing 4 times back-to-back. 2 of those, of course, happening here at the ESL Pro League. This is the first of those 2 maps here on Inferno, and it's a close affair at halftime.
Yeah, it feels like FaZe let a couple of moments slip from their hands, and I'm not talking about the gun rounds where they may have made a couple of mistakes individually. You know, beyond that, let's look at the rounds that they lost initially. Those are the ones come back and haunt you, and the scoreline is definitely a little bit closer than it could have been. I feel that FaZe came in with a winning mentality and walked out with a far closer game than expected. So we'll see if they can stop this before it spirals into something that it shouldn't be. They've literally played this same matchup merely maybe a couple of hours ago, if that. If that. So you've got to feel that not that much can change in that amount of time, apart from the mentality you're coming in with, even if that makes a small difference. So for FaZe, it should be time to deny this. For VP, maybe they feel a little bit more warmed up, a little bit more annoyed after that first game, and maybe up their quality of gameplay too. So there's something to be said about both sides, but for me, Pasha's AWPing was certainly something to keep our eyes on. That looked pretty good, but then again, coming to the T side now, you know, it's hard to see a showcase of that. Even for AWPers who maybe aren't just going through his up and downs in performance. We didn't see Alu having absolute blistering rounds with it. It's only had a couple of moments, sure, but still, overall, we'll see what FaZe can do once they get started on this CT side.
One thing we often have to celebrate about a team like Virtus.pro is that it's very hard for their opponents to ascertain exactly where their movements are on the map. Sometimes they're quite good at obscuring the fact and hitting bomb sites when their opponents least expect it. So perhaps this is a map where that's a little bit harder to achieve. I want to see if there's any sort of trickery in the works here for Virtus.pro if they try and make anything like that happen. And this is a nice little room. I think, isn't there supposed to be CS on that screen? Yeah. Is that a different PC?
No.
Singing chicken.
Be. Fantastic.
Not really sure, but there you go. This is actually an Inferno, believe it or not. Somehow they found a PC for this place, but now we're going to be jumping in. It's the pistol round. FaZe Clan on that CT side. What?
Just awkward. Just really...
Nico got knife, right? I'm not
awkward.
seeing things.
No, you did.
Okay. Okay, 4v4.
Feels good. Feels good. Keo Let's see if you can make it feel better. Rain gonna find Neo, and there it is. The crossfire gets set up instantly. VP get a glimmer of hope. They're like, oh, they're killing each other. Finally, we've got a good shot at this.
Just
and then
pranked him.
Bialy! What is that? Bialy! He's in a 1v2 and it's so winnable. He's got 12 HP. Nico's got 6 and Rain's got 18. I wouldn't put it past him. Oh,
Get out!
Bialy!
Get out, Bialy!
Let's go! 4 massive kills for Bialy. What a beast of a play.
I don't think I've ever seen a more bizarre round in all my years of watching Counter-Strike.
Oh, let's just watch that again. Please give us a replay of that. I just want to see it again.
We'll get one queued up, I'm sure, at the end of the round.
I don't want to see third person. I need to just
all right, we'll get back to that one. Anyway, and we'll talk about it then, perhaps. We'll try and jump into the next round here. But what is there to really to say? FaZe, Dunn just got absolutely smashed. Bialy providing one of those mercurial performances that he does tend to pull out every now and then. But Rain quickly trying to put a stop to the party. Taz is followed by a headshot before he even gets to top mid, and Rain wants more. And
Bialy's feeling a little bit, you know, warmed up now. He's kind of feeling it a bit. See if he can find any more. That's just obscene, isn't it? Rain.
Deagles, what is this game?
What is going on, Mitch? Why is this ridiculous? Why are these shots actually landing? Snacks, please keep it together for me. All right, you've got a UMP. I guess there's only so much I can really ask for with you in this gun because it should, in theory, be everything. Even that AK sitting on Carrigan, of course. Why not 2 kills? Where's the bomb? Okay, it's safely in the just very, you know, trustworthy hands of Carrigan.
He's got armor, and he has an AK. The lack of helmet might be concerning against a weapon like the UMP. Regardless, Snack's going to try and challenge it out. And FaZe put a stop and put an end to one of the most bizarre rounds I've seen after the one prior. This, though, was Bialy earlier on.
Fully flashed. The first one is fully... There it is. Literally, see you later, Ellie. Nah, that's all right. Oh, just a cheeky 180. And then in a winnable 1v2, just...
Never seen that before.
What can you say about that one, Mitch?
Both of his opponents were less than 20 HP, granted. But there are situations you just don't win, and Bialy has shown us that perhaps sometimes weird stuff just happens.
I don't know what
It's 9 to 8.
anymore.
It's one rounded. I mean, Rain there as well. We can't really count out his beautiful little 3-piece in the prior round. That was, again, the stuff of legends. These guys are really starting to produce some interesting moments for us here. I really can't put it down to overly cerebral play or, you know, excellent preparation, Lauren. It's just wacky. But let's collect ourselves here. Virtus.pro now, losing the anti-eco. Forced down to pistols, still want to play quite aggressively up top of mid though. Only half a Snacks, takes a lot of wallbang from the other side there. That was Alu just spamming into that room. He for the moment is quite untouched.
Let's see if they can play in anything here. Alu. Working off the back of Rain. Rain gets a lot of damage there, though. Maybe not expecting so much. You have to be a little bit more cautious. Bialy gets up close and personal. And Rain falls back. 6 HP, though, isn't much to work with. It makes the Tech-9 feel even more deadly. And now Bialy and Pasha are going to pull themselves together and try and play as that deadly duo they can be. There's still Rain on the site. Quite like the positioning, considering his HP going to make them commit towards the angle. But can't do much with it, but it will buy time for a bit of a play coming around. Yeah, now it's Bialy left in the 1v1 up against Nico.
I hate this from Nico. Opting against the direct approach. Bialy still seems to suspect something's afoot around the top of mid here, but as he circles back to the site, he will expose himself to Nico here. Nico, in turn, doesn't really know a lot about where Bialy is set up here. That might end up being his undoing. He drops down, makes enough noise. Bialy knows straight away. Vulcan hearing from that man. Now Nico looks for the bomb. He's found it. Molotov around the corner. This is going to force Bialy into this situation. He takes a lot of damage and burns to the Molotov. He had no other choice, really. No other way of knowing what Nico was up to, and the timing is just second perfect. Nico gets the defuse, and FaZe claim the round.
All right, FaZe are holding on by a very thin margin at the moment. It's down to very close rounds, so VP is sat there. It's like, we're getting them close, we're getting bomb plants.
Also working that money extremely low. You can notice that FaZe are still haven't built much of a bank to sit on.
What? What is this by? Oh, it's a very late call.
Yeah, they've got another AK on the ground. So there's 4 AKs into this round.
Taz has no armor and an AK.
Neo has nothing but a Desert Eagle.
What is this buy? Did they accidentally buy one too many AKs? Because I don't know why you'd give one to Taz if he can't have the armor to supplement it. I like the idea of going to buy. They've had close round, they've had bomb plants. They have money and they know that FaZe's economy is quite fragile. I get it.
But it's how they've bought in this round.
But yeah, it's a very strange approach. I'm not sure if I like it. But, you know, if it works out, bully for them, but Neo, merely with a deagle, might be the first to find a little bit of action if he does work his way down through apartments. Kyo's just playing towards Graveyard. Rain watching the slimmest of angles. Now, you can make a very easy assumption that VP won't have much to forge this round with. They're going to have to go in and just hope they land it. So, Neo, going to hear these steps towards site. Definitely spotted Rain there, but might show up on the radar now. So Kyo might have a good idea. But Kyo's being played in from the others. He's not showing down by Graveyard too much. Peeks up finally. Finds Neo with no worries. But the rest of the VP players do have weapons.
Kyo's going to be very careful. He could be pinched here. Snacks is in apartments. Kyo actually just makes a small correction in positioning off towards the left that protects him from Snacks for the moment there. Still has fell ultimately, but that's a far cleaner round from FaZe. Sharpening up their game a little bit more, and this time they don't give Virtus.pro a look in. Now, VP punished a little bit there for that buy. Now they'll be forced to save, or maybe a very small investment regardless. FaZe have a chance to build that money up a little bit more.
Yeah, I want to see if Kyo goes hyper-aggressive somewhere. He's got a great spawn for middle. Or, you know, anywhere towards A pretty much. I'm wondering if he's going to use it here. He's also got, you know, an SMG, so it certainly kind of helps towards it. Yeah, he's off ski. Straight down middle we go. Nades to help him out, bit of spam behind him. Plays him in. Now he gets the angle, and now he gets the frag. Neo down, no one else on towards Banana. He expected someone to be there, but actually, you know, Carrigan didn't want him to have fun, and he killed him.
Well, on the bright side, I'm pretty sure it was it Kyo that knifed Nico prior round? Actually, no, maybe it was. I don't want to point the finger at the wrong person. It doesn't really matter, actually. I'm sure they're not even thinking about it. It's an AWP, however, for Alu. Picking into this round. Kyo's had a comparatively good game, considering that he's been definitely burning the midnight oil, as he would have put it. It's 5 AKs at least here for Virtus.pro. So they buy up, they got everything they need. And they only had to really sit out for one round after making a relatively risky force. So that's that loss bonus. That's also the fact that they're getting bomb plants, pressuring FaZe. Deep banana control for FaZe early in the round. They know VP aren't set up there.
And this is the spot that I really like from Kyo. He plays this so often. Kind of, not, I wouldn't say necessarily known Rain.
Very sharp. So
sharp. As said, Viali's going to find the line of sight towards him, but Kyo now has to commit to one of the two. He's going to choose balcony, he chooses rightly so. Bomb now drops, he knows what's up. He knows that Pasha's the last alive, he's going to see him. Now Pasha goes for a run through the smoke, and it's not advisable when Carrigan's on the other side. And by this point, you look at the scoreline, and suddenly it's just kind of spiraled, hasn't it? They went through that kind of rocky back and forth. VP could have broken in, and now it's 13-8. It all smoothed out towards FaZe's control in hands. They've got a nice buffer of money sitting behind them, 8K up on 2 players, and a fair amount towards the others too. So now VP's money, you know, scraping it together. You've got a Galil coming out for Neo, so this is not how you want to see this game end, but it's very close to being towards those final, I guess, hurdles here.
VP have been quite happy to force for most of these rounds, and Nally there is clinical. Like a surgeon scalpel, it's Taz to jump across, and no opportunity for Pasha to trade or get any sort of refrag situation set up. Snack. That's a very quick little peek there inside apartments. Goes forward now, but he's on top of the Molotov there, and he's eventually going to have to fall. But damage is being done elsewhere across the map. One down in Banana. Nico's still there. FaZe have a tenuous hold on this map, but Kyo's in a very compromising position at top of mid in smoke right now. Bialy has free reign of that A site, and he's coming close. Not much Kyo can really do about this at all. Gets through the smoke. Bialy must have just spotted him, maybe even radar, regardless. Kyo was unfortunate not to get away with that.
No. Nico, what are you going to do here?
Trigger discipline's sometimes not your best friend. I believe he saw Pasha. I believe he was waiting on that shot.
Yeah, that was weird. That was really timed. Thank you, observers.
That is the replay we always wanted.
Yep. Nice. Very nice. Is that Rush observing?
I think chickens and CS are a great diffusion moment as well. Really good just to maybe relieve some stress. I don't advise it in real life. I don't think it's particularly environmentally friendly, but perhaps for VP it serves a purpose here. They're still 4 rounds behind the 8 ball, despite winning that one out, and FaZe have enough money to buy up again fully.
So far, VP, they haven't been throwing the curveballs that they're known for, you know what I mean? Everyone knows them for those crazy fake plays. So far, they haven't really been doing it. A lot of teams feel a hell of a lot of pressure because of that, but at the moment they've been quite clear-cut, to the point, some might say.
I don't really know how much you can really do that, to be fair. I mean, you've got to commit quite heavily to get any decent real estate on either of these 2 bomb sites. So. But I suppose with FaZe Clan getting quite a lot of banana control early in these rounds as well, VP haven't really been able to fake at all. There's no way of making FaZe think they're elsewhere, but Pasha finds Alu. Nice little opener in the mid. Now there's 4 players for VP ready to spring forth onto A.
What can you do? Neo found that frag through smoke as well, which is the bigger problem. But Keo couldn't find Taz. Now let's look at the remaining positions. Bomb's still down in second mid, so I'm not sure if they've heard Rain go for this. Now Karrigan actually might find some interesting information here. If he makes it down to the bottom of mid, they will have to come back towards this. Karrigan won't know this, of course. I don't think he'll know this.
I can't have seen the bomb there as well. He doesn't have line of sight, so
and the
won't
timing
show.
on that as well. If he'd gone all the way around just a little bit quicker towards second mid, he might have seen one of the 2 players going that way. But now he's going to realize, oh, maybe they didn't have the bomb, maybe they're going somewhere weird, you know, something went wrong.
Force the save here,
But
really.
yeah, he is going to save. But you could have thought, oh, if only the time was a little bit different, he could have maybe worked something out from that. But it is what it is. 2 of those kills were quite weird, actually. Neo's kill towards Banana was through smoke, and then you saw the play out then between, I think it was Alu and Pasha. It was kind of through the Molotov fire and flames, which is always quite hard to play into. So, again,
just the incandescence of the effect actually makes it quite annoying for an AWPer, especially to play above it.
Yeah.
We're going to have Karrigan here to spend some time. Watch the fan go by and Virtus.pro get themselves another round. It was a tenuous hold they had on this match. Now, the only potential concern for VP is that loss bonus is gone. So, FaZe to bring something into the next round, possibly some sort of force, some sort of pistol play. Perhaps not so advisable at this stage of the game, but they can do it. There's money on Keo and Karrigan to supply. Nico as well has a bit of cash. So Alu brought down to 0 last round because he wanted the AWP for a 2nd time running. That's why he's poor. But he might have it yet again because Nico's brought it up for him.
Nico's been dropped. Ooh.
Okay. That's a big investment considering your economy is where it's at.
Yeah, they had a really shaky economy. Rain's going to suffer for it, but they've got 2 AWPs up, so no pressure, guys. You've left Rain pretty much muted this round. You guys better be ready to deliver. Nico, it's on you. 2 players in front. He's going to see these tiny little bits of a human being just in front of him. There's 3 players there. He takes the fight and he doesn't win it. Neo is right on point. Karrigan tried to pick up the slack, but there's only so much you can do, and now B is theirs.
That's like an auto-save in some cases like this. Okay, very risky. Of course, you saw that Nico was committed to that with the Molotov thrown off towards his left side. He was trapped behind the car, and I think the wall bang as well through the wooden piece put some pressure on him then. Alu tries to interact here. Now, that's an AWP drop with Alu being felled there. So, yeah, Keo knows he needs to go and recover that. Now, the problem is that Rain now has to go and get the rifle.
Yeah. So you could have made that easier for me.
Yeah, that was a little bit convoluted of a process, but regardless, the final 2 FaZe Clan players have weapons. Keo has to be careful.
Not an AWPer. We've got the tag. And Slacks is going to join in the hunt as well. He's going to send off Rain to his grave.
Timing.
Keo, no, that is a rough one. And Rain's going to at least find that. Could maybe get the AWP back as well if he feels like it, or he might just say, sod that. I'm just going to sit here on site. You made your own mistakes. We had 2 AWPs and you lost them both. I only had a deagle. I've had to stay alive now. So the scoreline does get closer. VP, claw 1 back. That early aggression from Nico going nowhere then.
No. With the commitment of players that Virtus.pro had towards a Banana there as well, it caught FaZe off guard because the last 2 rounds, they've been playing 2 players at the top of Banana at the start of the round, and they've been throwing a deep smoke. So FaZe Clan, for the most part, have been going through the motions, assuming there's been a minimal amount of resistance in that part of the map, and then Virtus.pro put 4 players there. Both FaZe players were so committed to being in Banana that they were taken down. It was an automatic bomb plant. So now they play 3 here. They've got 1 rifle in the game still. That's on Rain, who's going to play back towards A and be a rotator. So it's a lighter presence on A in general for FaZe in this round. It might just pay off here. Karrigan rotates early, though. I'm not sure about this at all.
No. We're going to have to pray for some Nico sort of god tier level if you want this round to work out for FaZe, because... okay. I guess if you say his name, he might just appear now. Karrigan's found room to work as well. 2 kills come in. What is going on here? How has FaZe managed to pull this back? How is Karrigan doing this? But Pasha, he's still fighting the good fight for VP. He's got 3, but the 4th is too far. And even though Blue can count that higher, I can't make it any further. It's Rain to shut it down that round in the end. Keeps the AWP, drops it over, and FaZe are back in this.
Bizarre round. Very strange. Nice enough by Karrigan there as well. He actually made his start with a Tech 9 and switched over to a rifle and got the rest of the job done there. That's, yeah, bizarre. A lot of weird rounds coming out here, and both teams actually losing anti-eco rounds. So for Virtus.pro, that's crippling here. You see the money was not really in that great a spot. They're forced this round because they've got no other choice. They don't want to have to fight in overtime. But that may be what they're staring down the barrel of right now, because FaZe are straight back in the game. And they got that early banana control again. So this time they actually make that, you know, deeper peak. They get that investment, pays off, and now Kyo can rotate back. Carrigan is unsure. He'll also rotate if he hears anything going on at A. VP can afford to wait a little bit longer here, though. Keep Carrigan at B.
Well, that's a sweaty angle from Rain there. He does force Bialy off the play towards Apps. Now, I just purely because he would have heard that Molotov tick over and do some damage, then it wouldn't be much.
Here's that A stack. Carrigan's made his way over now. I think purely the action in apartments was enough to bring him here. So you see how ready he is to join at A when they had that information at Banana. And Nico's playing this really well. Playing passive, not giving anything. If Pasha finds Nico there, VP just turn tail and go straight to B and have an easy plant. So this is nicely done. So 4v5 in terms of the players that are local here to A. They're good odds for FaZe.
Yeah, 2 players focused on each spot. Carrigan, Rain towards short, Aloe and Kyo towards CT Arch, and we're going to see this action kick off right about now. They're going to take the fight. Kyo gets forced off the angle. He has to back away, but it's Rain winning out towards short. Finding 2 beautiful follow-up.
Unbelievable.
Sheer and utter accuracy from that man playing out of pit, and now Pasha, the impossible task of the 1v3 in front of him with no chance to decide itself. It all kind of fell apart there with Rain after a good start for him, and then he closes out so well.
That's guarded VP as well. No loss bonus to be banking on there. They kind of reset themselves a couple rounds back. They forced into that one because they had to, but now it's it. Enough for FaZe. Buy straight back in. It was a bad miss for Pasha on the AWP trying to get aggressive on A. That AWP has not worked out specifically well for VP in the last couple rounds on this T side. I think Carrigan also missed Pasha as well up close, and there had to be Rain to step in, but FaZe can rely on that kind of backup from each other. Whereas VP don't even seem to be able to back themselves at this stage.
The variety of how FaZe have been playing A is probably very frustrating for VP, who are now lining themselves up for the hit. Carrigan, this time, has a little bit of a peek down towards middle. Not done that before particularly, but now has a little go at it. Underhand flash. Oh, it's so well timed. Carrigan is still holding down mid, but it's Kyo who just won't be moved. Stays so firm, holds his ground, and this is just kind of, well, falling apart at the seams, isn't it, Mitch?
Yeah, Carrigan not with the correct weapon there, but still. There's only me one Pasha left, and it is pretty much done, Lauren. There's not much to say here. This has been one of those games where we've seen those more unlikely circumstances emerge towards the end of the round, but FaZe are overwhelmingly at advantage here. VP at least can take some territory here. Even a potential wrap. Force Alu back. That's not bad. Nico goes down and Pasha says, well, where do we go? We still don't know who they've got to beat. We have no information. Alu pushed down mid. He's been drawn back to the B side here. It means he can't wrap on Pasha and Neo. Gives VP at least a clean 2v2 to keep themselves in this game, and Alu has to babysit at B for now, just in case.
FaZe just need to sit in. They don't need to peek this, and Kyo's going to do it anyway. He gets the 1-for-1, but he gets the information. Now Alu can come and support, but it's Neo. He's got the deagle. He does have an M4 behind him, but maybe he doesn't have the bullets in the clip right now. And now Neo going to find the angle, but Rain was holding it first. And there it is. FaZe, it looked like it was always going to be theirs, but VP did bring a closer game than a lot of people would have expected.
Yeah. Definitely a tighter affair, Lauren, but VP, well, their FaZe's punching bag tonight, and they're just going to have to roll with them. There's still one more map to come. But before we get there, let's have a little bit of a discussion on this particular map, Inferno, and how VP managed to keep it as close as they did.
16-11, and the comeback almost occurs, but again, it's one of those crippling force by rounds. Nico with the 1v, Carrigan coming through the smoke with the CZ, and that's where it really stopped for VP.
Absolutely. It was a very entertaining game, I have to say. Like Lauren said, it looked like FaZe had the overall advantage throughout it, but VP making it a closer affair. Unfortunately for them, though, they needed to have some map victories here tonight. Yeah. Didn't get that 16-11, not amazing scoreline by any stretch of the imagination, but still some promising signs. There's some big rounds like the Snacks and Pasha as well. An interesting start. FaZe go up, I think it was 5-0 at one point, and then that grenade strike towards middle actually got VP into the game, right? And we thought, okay, they've got something to work with here. They actually brought it back to a reasonable scoreline at 8-7, but then we switch over to the CT side. That's where FaZe really come to life. They're very good at being aggressive on this side. They're still flirting with the idea of the double orb setup there, but I liked that they weren't necessarily forcing it like they were over in Starlight as well. In the grand final, it worked out for them, but it seemed very questionable throughout. So they tried it a few times on Nico, it wasn't really working out. Back to the Alu orb, who's sensational on this map and managed to get them a nice little victory.
They also had a round with a double up on the T side where Carrigan had it. Carrigan
I think, did they pick that up? They may have just picked it up and carried it through. They didn't have it for much longer in that half, right? But tonight has been a night of highlights. in the previous matchup, and this
Yeah.
one alone, Biley with the 1v4 and we're like 12
was
HP
sick,
versus
wasn't
like
it? Yeah.
red HP. Managed to pull it off. That was nuts. We all yelled here like idiots.
Yeah.
Good the West, we're getting excited. But VP,
Here it is.
yeah, there's such a
He
good
gets
round.
blind
right?
as well.
Yeah, this kill right here is like, bang. See you later.
Yeah, it's very pretty. And Bialy's been missing for VP recently as well, especially online. So it's great to see him performing, but still not finding these victories. That's the main problem, yeah.
Yeah, that's the tough part because they're just going to keep sliding down these rankings now. So, I mean, and if you combine their matches earlier tonight in ECS, they're now 0-3 against
Okay,
FaZe.
so they're ramping up though. So the first game was 16-4, the 16-10 on the first Inferno,
Getting
16-11
better.
on the second. They could get this nuke victory.
You think so?
I like to be positive. I always want to see
Glass
VP do
half full.
well.
At what point do they get to 16? That's the scary part. Yeah, these are the updated standings now. VP
Oh,
still
boy.
down there in 12, so they're still in relegation. And now Mouse Sports, I mean, they find themselves in first place, so that must be nice.
I dropped the ball here on the B stream update.
Did you?
I think they won 16-8 over Heroes on Cage. So
What have we got in the second matchup on the B stream? It's NIP and someone, isn't it?
No. It's North versus LDOC.
I was close.
Yeah, you were close.
I knew it started with an N.
Yeah.
Well, points for trying at least.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, unfortunately, that doesn't apply to Pro League because Virtus.pro is slipping. Even though they are trying, they've got one more map to do it. They're 0-3 against FaZe tonight. We'll see if they can get their first victory on Nuke, one of their better maps when we return from the break.